What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a major WWE injury update, the real reason why AJ Styles is putting his career on the line at the Rumble, prayers for Jim Ross, a huge debut at the Rumble, WWE axed the Demon return, a WWE referee in a car accident, Becky Lynch retiring, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's do the intro and get straight into our first story. Now first story looks at a major WWE injury update. Now top story today looks at an update when it comes to the injury status of Jevon Evans. On Raw last night, Evans' match versus El Grande Americano was stopped after Evans was injured. There was concern for Evans' welfare, but WWE received praise for immediately stopping the match and allowing Evans to receive the medical attention that he needed. Now we finally have an update on Evans, and thankfully, it's positive. According to PW Insider Elite, Evans' match was stopped due to concerns of a concussion, but now he's fine and is traveling with the rest of the Raw roster. WWE star Jevon Evans is said to be okay after his match with El Grande Americano was halted on Raw, PWInsiderElite.com was told. We were told that the match was not stopped due to the concern over an injury, but worry over a possible concussion. We're told that among officials, the belief was the referee made the right call. Evans was checked out backstage after the bout and left the show to travel with the roster. We are told it does not appear he suffered a concussion, but we cannot confirm that 100%. This is fantastic news, and this should mean that Evans doesn't miss any time away from television. WWE take concussions and head-related injuries extremely seriously, so they were definitely justified in stopping the match. Next up, the real reason why AJ Styles is putting his career on the line at the Rumble. Last night's Raw has the world talking after AJ Styles vs GUNTHER is now being set for the Royal Rumble. The rematch between the two former world champions has the added stipulation that if GUNTHER wins, AJ will be forced to retire. And nobody expected AJ to retire in January, never mind at the Royal Rumble, so are WWE about to deliver a swerve? Well, last September, Fightful Select offered a report on AJ's WWE status, and it was revealed that AJ's WWE deal expires in February 2026, which is of course next month. What we didn't know at that point was when the contract actually expires or how long the deal was. Sources close to Styles had indicated that the deal is up around February 2026, which would have him expiring after the Royal Rumble and before WrestleMania season. Styles has long discussed the possibility of retirement, but hasn't mentioned it much lately, and his in-ring work hasn't suffered. Therefore, unless AJ has re-signed an extension to his contract, he will indeed be retiring at the Royal Rumble. Logically, it's unlikely that AJ and WWE opt to have such a legendary wrestler to retire with just 2 weeks' notice. However, both John Cena and Goldberg retired at Saturday night's main event, so we really can't rule this out. That's worth noting that not every wrestler is going to want to have an elaborate retirement, and AJ may be comfortable retiring at the event he debuted a decade prior. This would also open the door for WWE to deliver a Gunther vs Brock Lesnar match at WrestleMania, as it's currently unclear where Lesnar fits on the card. One option could see AJ sign an extension until WrestleMania. In terms of the match versus Gunther at the Rumble, WWE could easily have AJ win via DQ. This would protect both men, and then WWE could build to a third and final match on the grand stage of WrestleMania. The WWE has to play this extremely carefully, especially if AJ is indeed retiring next weekend, as he's one of the most beloved names in pro wrestling history, and WWE has to give him the send-off he truly deserves. WWE also has to avoid the risk of having the crowd turning on other wrestlers at the Rumble. If AJ retires in the middle of the show, then the subsequent matches are likely going to be met with negative chants or even utter silence. Next up, are we getting a huge debut at the Rumble? Last week there were rumors that Powerhouse Hobbs was WWE bound, and now Fightful Select have confirmed that Hobbs to WWE is a foregone conclusion. Hobbs was suspected to be headed to WWE, and it seems as if it's a foregone conclusion now. WWE sources that spoke with Fightful Select Sean Ross Sapp said that the people in the company are operating on the belief that Hobbs is signed to WWE. He was expected to be headed to the company immediately upon leaving AEW. The report added that although Hobbs hasn't been backstage at WWE, sources expect him to be in attendance for the Royal Rumble weekend. Hobbs has not been backstage at WWE as of yet, but the company has been interested in him dating back years. Hobbs is said to have been looking to make a move in recent weeks, but had been negotiating with AEW prior to that. Sources we spoke to expected Hobbs to be at the Royal Rumble weekend, but couldn't confirm such plans. The former AEW star making his debut in the Rumble match itself would be an easy way to cement him as a top star. It'll be interesting to see what creative plans WWE has in place for him. Next up, prayers for Jim Ross. And we'd like to extend our thoughts and prayers to Jim Ross, as the iconic commentator is set to miss AEW television this week due to suffering a fall. The WWE Hall of Famer revealed this during a post on X which read, "Great CFB playoff game tonight. Congrats to the Hoosiers for an amazing win versus the Miami Hurricanes. My trip to Orlando for AEW Dynamite is postponed due to an untimely fall that saw me lying on my living room floor for 5 hours. I'll be watching." Now hopefully JR is doing okay and he's able to safely recover in the comfort of his own home. Next up, WWE axed The Demon's return. The WWE Unreal Season 2 featured the infamous WWE Writers' Room, and eagle-eyed viewers noticed something interesting in the background. In one shot there's a whiteboard that features the original card for SummerSlam 2025. It is really hard to make out the card, but it's clear that these were some of the matches set for the big show. They had Roman Reigns vs Braun Breaker, Jey Uso vs Rusev, Sami Zayn vs Seth Rollins, the Demon Finn Balor vs Dominic Mysterio, and the Bella Twins vs the Judgment Day. Now obviously none of these matches took place, and the return of the Demon character was scrapped completely. What a damn shame. Next up, Gunther would have been buried by this. Now if you remember around Backlash 2025, Gunther had a match with Pat McAfee, and Gunther defeated McAfee in the match. But funnily enough, from WWE Unreal Season 2, it was revealed that there was going to be a different outcome, a much more shocking one that probably would have seen Gunther being buried in the ring. According to the episode, Bruce Pritchard pitched the idea of McAfee winning the bout, believing that a Pat McAfee victory would make the finish less predictable and more exciting. Triple H then rebutted, saying that if McAfee had won, then Gunther would have needed a strong winning streak afterward to re-establish his credibility, as this would have seemed insane. Thankfully, creative team writer Jonathan Beckstrom strongly disagreed with the idea of McAfee pinning Gunther. He argued that having Gunther lose to a non-wrestler commentator didn't fit the character's trajectory at all and would severely impact his momentum, as this was a man who was going on to retire both Goldberg and John Cena, but he couldn't win to Pat McAfee? Oh, thank God these plans never happened. Next up, a WWE referee in a car accident. Now there's some frightening news as WWE referee Daphne LaShawn and her husband, former WWE wrestler Leon Ruff, were involved in a car accident on January 18. Leon Ruff made a post on Twitter saying, "Earlier today, my wife and I were rear-ended on the road. We'd just gotten home from the hospital and we were both sore and shaken up. I'm alright, but Aja, aka Daphne LaShawn, is hurting more than I am. Unfortunately, the car is totaled. If anyone has any connections to bookers or upcoming shows." Now, Ruff urged others to drive safely and wear their seatbelts. We're glad that both are okay though. Next up is Finn Balor turning face. Finn Balor seems to be turning face, and that's based off his Raw match versus CM Punk. Balor was a firm favourite in the match, and he definitely worked a babyface style in the highly regarded TV main event. Balor and Punk would also embrace after the match, which certainly gives weight to the idea that Balor is now a babyface act. But after Raw went off the air, Balor cut an emotional babyface promo in front of the crowd, and there's no way that Balor can go back to his heel status next week on Raw after this. There is concern from fans that they may retcon the Balor babyface turn, and next week on Raw he just appears with his Def Rebel theme song, and WWE just pretends like this week never happened. Hopefully that doesn't occur, but it wouldn't be a massive surprise if this is what WWE are planning, just because they were an island. Next up, Obafemi set for a huge push. Rumors are circulating that Obafemi could make his main roster debut at the Royal Rumble, and according to a new report from the Wrestling Observer Radio, Femi could be set for a strong presentation in the Rumble match itself. There's a billboard up at the arena in Saudi Arabia for the Royal Rumble, and all of the major stars are on it. Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, but also Obafemi. I expected Obafemi would be in it, and he's probably going to throw a whole bunch of people out. I mean, it's probably going to be his coming out party, so to speak. There have been calls from fans to see Femi break the Royal Rumble elimination record, and if WWE gets Femi booked right in the Rumble, then he could be set for superstardom on the main roster. There's a ton of pressure on WWE to get Femi's booking and presentation just right. He was a breakout star in NXT, and he has every tool it takes to become a future world champion on the main roster. Let's hope they get it right. Next up, the face of WWE revealed. Specific comments from Triple H on WWE Unreal Season 2 have fans talking, and it's not for good reason. The game would put over part-time WWE commentator Pat McAfee, and he would go one step further by outright claiming that to many fans, McAfee is seen as the face of WWE. Pat McAfee is the face of the WWE to a lot of people. Pat's association with us goes back quite a way. I was vaguely aware of who he was. I knew he was a kicker for the Colts. You know, it's been incredible to see him go from like little podcaster to NFL stuff to ESPN to like just keep blowing up along the way. It's hard to find a single fan who thinks that McAfee is the face of WWE, and this is certainly a weird and bold comment for the head of WWE creative to make on the show. Fans are heavily criticizing the game on social media, and for good reason. A lot of the fans believe that these comments are disingenuous, and he's just trying to create rage bait for the IWC. Certain fans have pointed out that the comments are disrespectful to names that legitimately carry the company, such as Cody Rhodes, and it's a comment that the game simply shouldn't have come out with. You would say that Michael Cole is the face of WWE. He's been there since the very beginning of the Attitude Era. And finally, Becky Lynch retiring? Our final story today looks at the WWE future of Becky Lynch. Lynch is featured heavily on WWE Unreal Season 2, and in one specific episode, Lynch states that she's probably in the midst of a final WWE run and a final WWE contract. Now, whilst this doesn't necessarily mean that Lynch is retiring just now, she seems content with her career, just ready to ride off into the sunset. Lynch has had a Hall of Fame worthy career in WWE, and we could be looking at one of the final WrestleMania appearances for the reigning Women's Intercontinental Champion this coming April. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.